Welcome to the Metal Collector. Fasten your seatbelts because today I'm going to show you my top 10 favorite albums to drive to. Stay put. Welcome once again YouTube, and welcome to this little video here at the Metal Collector where I will show you my top 10 favorite albums to drive car to. I was out driving recently and listened to the new Judas Priest, and I was thinking that it's very often the same albums I tend to put on the car stereo and just drive to. There are some things, something special about these albums that really it's just nice to just drive to. So not so much to say. Let's get down to it. The top 10 albums of mine to drive car to, in no particular order. Let's take the first one. Children of Bodom, Hate Crew, Death Roll. This is my favorite Children of Bodom album. I really still enjoy this one. It's not very often I listen to Children of Bodom anymore, but I had a period where I listened a lot, and this was without doubt my favorite album with them, and still is. So when I put something, if I'm in the right mood to listen to Children of Bodom, this is the one I mostly still put on the stereo, and it has been with me on many trips. It's a very good album to drive to, especially when I just bought it. It was just you have the title track is and Needle 24/7. The whole album is just put the pedal to the metal. So the next one in line is Exciter's Heavy Metal Maniac. Pure speed metal attack. Like and love this album very much. The debut from the Canadian speed metal gods. And this whole album is just, again, let's just break all speed limits and just get from A to B fast way possible. I saw these guys at Sweden Rock some years ago with the original lineup. That was something. So I really, especially the first three albums, are some of my speed metal favorites. Perhaps I will do a top 10 speed metal albums. I think I'll do that one day. The next one is Judas Priest Turbo. And let's just take the fourth one as well. Judas Priest Demolition. Each year in the summertime, I have like 2 weeks or something where it's a tradition. I always get this Judas Priest fever. So non-stop, 2 weeks, maybe 3 sometimes. Well, the only thing I listen to is Judas Priest, especially when I'm driving. And these two albums are probably those two I've heard the most in my car. Demolition, especially the years after it was released, it was almost always in my car. Really a great album, and still, I think this is underrated in the Judas Priest discography. Actually, I think this is a little bit better than the Juggulator that Tim Ripper also were involved with. But again, Juggulator is also a great album. Turbo, not so much to say about this one. This is just a driving in my car music. I know a lot of the old Priest fans thought that the band was a little bit too polished and a little bit too the band had turned into some, not to say sellout, but a lot of the old hardcore Judas Priest just thought this album was a little bit too commercialized. Can you say that? But I really enjoy it, and I still think it's a very good album. So these two, definitely. The next one, also a classic heavy metal piece, Iron Maiden, Power Slave. From Aces High, and you just put the gas on, drive. Fantastic album. And also a classic one, Metallica's Kill 'Em All. This speaks for itself. This is just 200 miles per hour from Hit the Lights till Metal Militia. Like some of you might know, this is with Ride the Lightning, my two favorite Metallica albums. I love these. I love those two albums. So the next one is Exodus, Temple of the Damned. This is one of the later thrash releases that I think really showed people that thrash metal were back. This one and Artillery's When Death Comes are some of those great after the millennium, early after the millennium thrash albums that just said that, okay, let's just do what we do best, thrash it all up. And then came, you know, Overkill with the Ironbound album and Creator and all their later albums. This is a masterpiece in the thrash metal genre after the millennium. Like I said in another video, I think I'll do this my top 10 favorite, perhaps the top 20 favorite thrash metal albums released after the millennium. This is without doubt one of those. The next one is Gravedigger with the Gravedigger. I'm not sure if I would say this is my favorite Gravedigger album, but it's definitely among the top spots. I really enjoy this one. And again, like with Demolition, when this was released, I just played it constantly in my car. It was all over the place. And great sing-along. Great production. It's actually quite... It's some time since I last heard this. I think I'll put it on when I'm done with this video. So, but I've heard this many times in my car. Number 9 is Running Wild with Black Hand In. I was in doubt if I would choose this or Masquerade, because those two albums have been played, and also The Rivalry. Those 3 albums have been played many times in my car, but I decided to go with Black Hand In because, yeah, I've heard most of the Running Wild many times when I was driving. It's very good car music. Just going out. So, Running Wild. And the last one, this collection of Ramones songs called Mania. This was actually my introduction for the band when I bought this. I've heard about Ramones and I've heard some of the classic stuff. Then I decided to buy a compilation, and this was the one they had in the store that day. So I bought this one and I was just hooked immediately. I love Ramones, and it's very good sing-along punk, and it's very primitive, but it always gets you in a good mood when you're listening to Ramones. I have a couple of bands, actually Running Wild is also one of those bands. When I'm in a bad mood and I have to try and change something, Ramones will mostly do the job. So when I'm in a bad mood, I put on some Ramones or Running Wild, and normally I just start smiling. So this one, many times. Again, a lot of the Ramones stuff have been in my car many times, but this one is just one of those where, okay, I'll just take a lot of the classic stuff and go. So this was my top 10 list of albums I have been driving mostly to. So thank you for watching, and see you again. I am working on a video about some Danish black metal. It will be up in a short while. I'll just have to do the last preparations for it. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day. I'll continue my drive now. Bye.